is Melodee Marlowe. So in 2014, I started having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and at first I didn't even know what they were. So I go to see a doctor, and he describes me anxiety and depression medications. So I went back to the doctor, and he decided that I didn't have depression and anxiety, that maybe I had a hormonal issue. The doctor I was using retired, and I start seeing a new doctor, and instantly she says that I'm not depressed, and I don't have anxiety, and I don't need those hormone pills, that I was gonna have to have a hysterectomy. While they're prepping for the hysterectomy, they found a cyst on my cervix, but they wanted to do some more tests on the cyst that they had found. A few days later at the house, I got an automated phone call for me to confirm my appointment with the oncologist. And that was the first I'd ever heard that we were going to actually be dealing with cancer. When you hear the word cancer for the first time and you know it's about you, you don't hear the rest of the conversation. Conversation stopped at the word cancer. I met my oncologist and scheduled surgery. It's like, there was never any time to process what was going on. You know, first you just have an anxiety, and now all of a sudden you have cancer and you're having surgery. So when I woke up from surgery, they had ended up taking 49 lymph nodes, all of my female parts except for my left ovary. If you don't know anything about cancer, you don't know anything about cancer. And so I didn't even know how chemotherapy was put into your body. And so I had to do chemotherapy every Tuesday for 6 weeks. I did radiation treatments every single day for 36 treatments. My tattoo here was a representation of my battle against the radiation, not my battle against cancer. When I was going through radiation and chemo, I found a Facebook page of a little boy named J-Ro who was battling cancer, and he was living in the Ronald McDonald House so that he could be here for his appointments. And as I watched this boy's page, and you've seen pictures of him with his bald head at the prom with his sister and smiles, and I couldn't understand, well, what did he have to smile about? And I wanted that so bad. Me and my friend, we did a toy donation, and the Ronald McDonald House let me bring them, and I got to meet J-Ro finally, and he was amazing. He just lived. He played and laughed and didn't seem sad like I was. That was just like the moment that I knew I had to find strength like him. In the radiation tube that day, I clearly heard a voice that told me that everything was going to be okay. And in my ears, it was a man's voice, and I knew that my technician's name was Mary Ann. So there was no other explanation at all for me to hear those words out loud, except that I know it was God telling me that if I had enough faith to believe that it was going to be okay, that it would be okay. I still had fears, I still had doubts, I still had worries, and I was still upset. I felt like I wasn't supposed to have cancer. I decided that the only time I was ever going to be mad or angry or have a pity party for myself was inside that radiation tube. 4.5 minutes from the time they turn the machine on till the time it stops turning, every day for 5 days a week. 4.5 minutes of self-pity. When the machine stopped spinning, I had to put my face back on because I had people to inspire. I was asked if I was given one wish by God that I knew would come true before cancer killed me, what would I wish for? And I laughed because I was talking to a 9-year-old little boy. And I said, well, we'll just have to wish for a cure for cancer. That way it doesn't kill me and then we don't have to worry about it. And then I asked him what he would wish for, thinking that he would probably say the same thing. But instead, he wished for his mother's happiness. I started to want to help other people deal with what I was going through. I wanted them to say, even if I just have to watch her on Facebook like I did J-Ro, maybe I could offer them the same strength that J-Ro gave me. Maybe they can see the light in my eyes that I have Jesus, and maybe they would want him too. And when they see that I wasn't scared, then maybe they wouldn't be scared either. That they could be totally alone on the street, but they would know I loved them. They would know that Jesus loved them too. It was months and months after J-Ro passed away that single question weighed on my heart. And I wanted to know, what do people wish for? So I started a Facebook group, and it was called Make Your Own Wish, because if it was a cancer battle, that's my wish. If it was an autism battle, that's somebody else's wish. So I introduced myself and I told them what I wished for, and simply said, what would you wish for if God gave you just one? And I invited a few of my friends, and they invited theirs, and they invited theirs. People from all over the world sharing what they would wish for. If you were having a pity party and you opened my group, you'd think twice about what you might wish for. I wished I could have my son on Mother's Day, and a stranger said, I wished my son was still alive. You know, even the simplest things, if you wished you had a brand new car, there's other people that wish for a car. You know, we wish for bigger houses, but they wish for a home. We're just there for each other. If you put a prayer request in the group, the rest of the group are on it. And there's enough people in there now at 3,500 people that you can still scroll all day long, and all you see is God posts and positive posts. And I guess what I would like to say to everyone is that you can never give up hope on anything. Finally decided that I was going to give God all this faith that everything would be taken care of. He never let me down. I use the phrase, God will provide, probably once a day to somebody that we're talking to, because he does. When I prayed, because I was afraid of being alone, he gave me 3,500 people in a group that grows every day. When I was afraid of not having a job, he gave me a career. When I asked God for a husband, he gave me one. There's never been anything that I haven't asked for since I believed that he would give it to me. That he's not failed me once. Faith is very hard because not many people can believe in something that they don't see or that they don't understand. But when you finally do, it's like the most amazing thing ever. I'm Melodee, and that's my story unfolded.